Hi, and welcome to Break Free with Shirley. So, if you found this podcast, I'm guessing you've tried every diet going and you can't understand why nothing sticks. You lose weight and feel good for a while, and then you find yourself back where you started, wondering, what's wrong with me? What have I done wrong? Here's what I want you to know. There's nothing wrong with you, nothing at all. And I know it's easy to say, this is normal behavior and there are solutions. So just remember, everything important takes time. Things aren't going to change overnight, so please try and be patient with the process, as well as, most importantly, patient with yourself. So in today's episode, we're going to look at why diets fail, my story and why I do this work, and what you can expect from this podcast. And we will end with a simple grounding breathing exercise just to help you reset. So let's dive in. So why do diets fail? So many women over the age of 35, we find that diets just stop working. Your body, your life have changed. Hormones are shifting, stress is higher, sleep is poor. You're juggling caring responsibilities, work, family, everything, and it's just overwhelming. Years of dieting, your body is exhausted. It's holding on to weight because it thinks it needs to survive that next famine that you're going to put it through. So that next diet, in other words. And so your body starts to behave slightly differently. Restrictive diets, they add even more pressure at a time when your nervous system is already overloaded. And so what happens? You turn to food, but not because you're hungry, because you need the comfort. You need a break. You need something that feels good. And this leads to emotional eating, the guilt, shame, and feeling completely stuck. Here's what I've learned. Sustainable weight loss doesn't come from restriction. It comes from calming the body down, understanding your emotional triggers, and working with your body, not against it. So that's what this podcast is about. And every week I'm going to share insights with you. I'll give you some tools and techniques, and we'll have some real talk about emotional eating, the guilt, shame, eat cycle, and how to finally feel free and at peace with food and yourself. So no diets, no quick fixes, just compassionate, evidence-based support. So let's talk about what emotional eating actually is. Emotional eating is when we use food to cope with feelings instead of satisfying physical hunger. So it's not about the food itself, it's about what the food represents, be it comfort, a distraction, or sometimes even a punishment. So for example, after a long, stressful day at work, you might reach for a bag of crisps. And not because your body needs it, but because your mind needs a break. Or if you're feeling lonely in the evening after the kids have gone to bed, or you're alone for the evening, and suddenly you're standing at the fridge, eating leftovers, and not even tasting them, but just eating them. Emotional eating isn't a failure, it's a signal. It's your body's way of telling you that something deeper needs attention. So the problem isn't the eating. The problem is that food can't solve the emotional pain, but awareness can. And so that's what we'll be exploring together, the triggers, why it happens, and how we can change it. So I could talk about my qualifications all day long, but basically I'm a fully qualified psychotherapist and clinical hypnotherapist with over 7 years of experience, and that's working with clients. But my real expertise, it comes from also living this experience. So I'm a mum of 4, well, young adults now, and I know what stress looks like. I have been through it. I understand exhaustion, the juggling of endless demands, that pressure to hold it all together, and how easy it is to turn to food when life feels overwhelming. So my own weight has fluctuated by 10 kilograms in a single year. I've been classed as overweight according to my BMI, even when people said I didn't look like it, but I was. And I know the frustration of trying to shift those stubborn pounds. I know the emotional swings whilst trying to lose weight, and I understand the constant battle of wanting to feel good and wanting comfort. And that's why I trained as a therapist. So I wanted to understand what was really going on, not just for myself, but for all the women who feel the same way. And what I discovered changed everything. So the real reason that we can't stick to diets isn't about discipline or willpower. It's about meeting those unmet emotional needs. It's about shifting your patterns that we learned years ago. And it's about our nervous system being stuck in a stress mode. And once I understood that, I was able to help myself. And now I help other women to do exactly the same. So every week I'll be sharing practical tools, insights, and real talk about emotional eating and weight loss. Some episodes will be about understanding the triggers, and some will teach you specific techniques, and some will be about mindset, self-compassion, and building a kinder relationship with yourself, which is so important. So I use these three main approaches to my work. So I use hypnotherapy, which helps to rewire the subconscious patterns around food. It's deeply relaxing and incredibly effective for breaking old habits. I use psychotherapy, which helps uncover the root causes of your emotional eating. So we'll explore together what's really going on beneath the surface. And compassionate focus therapy, also known as CFT, which helps you to replace that harsh inner critic with kindness and understanding. Together, these create lasting transformation. So now I work with women one-to-one and in group programs, and I've put a link in the description, so if you'd like to learn more, just click on the link. Even if you never work with me, I'll keep showing up here every week with free support, tips, and techniques that you can use. You are not alone in this. Just remember that. So just a quick word on hypnotherapy. I know some of you might be thinking, hypnotherapy, isn't that thing where people cluck like chickens on stage? Let me just clarify. Therapeutic hypnotherapy is nothing like stage hypnosis. It's simply a relaxed and focused state where your mind becomes calmer and more open to positive change. You stay fully awake and in control at all times. So it feels similar to daydreaming or that lovely moment just before you drift off to sleep. So it's a really nice experience. And in this relaxed state, you can reframe old patterns, quieten that harsh inner critic, and strengthen healthier, kinder habits around food and self-care. It's really gentle, it's safe, and it's especially supportive when emotions have been driving you to eat for years. If you've never tried it, I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Let's end with something practical that you can use today. So we're going to try a grounding breathing exercise together. So I am going to ask you to close your eyes in a moment. So this is something you can do anytime you're feeling stressed or anxious or tempted to reach for food when you're not hungry. So if you're driving or doing something that needs your full attention, try it later. So don't actually do it while you're operating machinery or driving. But if you can, right now, just find a really comfortable position and close your eyes if that feels good for you. Take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold that breath gently for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now slowly breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Let's just do that 2 more times. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Notice how your body feels now. Are you feeling a little calmer, a little more grounded? This is a tool that you can use at any time. When stress hits, when emotions feel overwhelming, when you're about to reach for food but not sure why. Pause and breathe. So thank you so much for taking time on yourself today. I hope this episode has given you a moment of clarity, a bit of calm, and some insight into who I am and what we'll be exploring together. Next week, we'll be diving into 5 emotional eating triggers that no one talks about. Trust me, you'll recognize yourself in at least one of them. Can I ask you one small favor? If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the show. It takes less than a minute to do, but it really helps women, other women like you, find the support when they need it the most. And here's your takeaway for this week. Be gentle with yourself. Just catch yourself if the inner critic comes out. And notice when you reach for food this week. Just notice. Don't judge yourself or criticize yourself. Just observe with curiosity. Ask yourself these questions. What were you feeling? What did you really need in that moment of time? Remember, awareness is the first step to change. So I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.